Hello. Just before I start the video, I forgot to mention that Celia Rose Gooding is a trans actress. That was not known, I think, when the first article came out and that, but now people know. She's been in theatre and some other things. So I find that kind of interesting because it kind of affects the rumours of who she could be playing, I think, maybe, or maybe not. Hello, Steve White, Tripboy89 for Steve Arts 89. Well, Star Trek Strange New Worlds, we had a casting announcement the other day. 5 of the actors were announced officially. Now, no one really knows who they're playing. There were some unofficial character bios and information that supposedly came from a casting call. There was a site called the Luminerdi, which said that in November 22, I think they had this casting call going from a talent agent that they found or something, or I can't remember because I can't really remember at the time. And supposedly, once the announcements for these actors came out, they were able to, someone was able to find some audition tapes from the actors, and they seem to have confirmed that they are playing or auditioning for specific roles. So we've got some information on the roles. Now, I haven't seen these videos, these audition tapes. Supposedly, if you know where to find them, you can get them. So I haven't seen them. So I'm just going to assume that the other people I've seen report on them. There's been a few videos and a few articles. So I'm just going to assume these people know what they're talking about and they've actually seen them. So I'm just going to assume this is a legitimate rumour and just talk about it. Now, the first actress, Celia Rose Gooding. Now, she's playing a character called Viboa. And she's early 20s, she's just come out of the academy, she's a linguistics genius, and she's the youngest and brightest of the crew. And some people are thinking she's playing Uhura, because some people are suggesting that they are sort of using, different names to try and, make it not so obvious and not have it brought to the fans' attention. But it doesn't really work because Uhura didn't leave the academy until 2361. And then she was on the Enterprise in 2365, supposedly, which is basically when Kirk started. So she came on after Pike's crew left. But Discovery doesn't care a lot about canon. And anyway, that is, of course, the original series, original universe canon universe, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what to call the original universe. The new universe they created for the JJ films, which Discovery and Picard take place in, which is also where the alternative timeline for the JJ films is in. It's different, so things happen different times. So maybe I don't think Uhura could have gotten through the academy no matter what, just because of when she was born. And unless they're going to change her age, I don't know how she could be in it. So I don't know, this looks like it just could be another character, and maybe it's just a character that, hands the ship over to Uhura, and maybe Uhura will come on late in the show as an ensign or something, and she'll be tutored by her or something, so I'm not sure. The next character, La-En, played by Christina Chong. Now, when I first saw her, I heard the name and I thought, oh, she's Asian, and then I saw the picture, I thought, oh, doesn't look like she is. Apparently she is. And I guess the headshot was just one of those ones where a lot of ethnic actors kind of try and make themselves look as white as possible for auditions because they know they're more likely to get work. So I've seen more pictures of her and she does look part Asian. So I guess I was wrong with that one, but I blame the first photo I saw. Now her character is a warrior. She's apparently a badass. She's head of security. She's suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. And some people are suggesting she might be a Vulcan. And also the name sounds a little Vulcan-ish, but I'm not sure about that. And then again, the name could be made up. The next actress, Melissa Navia, she's playing Ortegas, O-R-T-E-G-A-S. I don't know how to pronounce that. She's a Latinx woman. Now, I still don't know what Latinx means. I've seen some people mocking that term, so I'm not exactly sure what that means. She's in her late 20s. She's a vet. She's apparently very funny. Her character has been compared to Riker, but some other people are saying it's more like a copy of Vasquez from Aliens, because she kind of has that look, and Kurtzman loves to take things from other shows, so other movies and other things. So it could just be we've just got a Vasquez on the ship. I mean, okay. Babs, love the name, just like Barbara Streisand. He apparently, he's playing the ship's doctor, Biodon, and a lot of people are saying, well, no, that he must be playing M. Benga, who was the CMO when McCoy was there. So when McCoy wasn't working, this other doctor, who was a black doctor, was working. So he's close with Pike. He's a black man in his 40s. So we're assuming that that's M. Benga and that he was on the ship before McCoy, because before McCoy was Boyce. And also people tend to forget the other doctor, because there were two doctors, one in the cage in Pike's era, and then there was another doctor who was there when Kirk first started. And I've forgotten, am I getting the names confused? He was only in that one episode, the pilot, where no one's gone before on the original series. So basically the old white men are out. The white characters are all gone. Basically, well, maybe not, because this is the other rumour. When we get to Jess Bush, she is an Australian actor. The rumour is she's playing Ensign J.M. Colt. Now, the character she's playing is Miller, and of course J.M.'s middle name would be M, so it could be Miller. So people are suggesting she's playing M. Colt, Miller. But people are also suggesting she might be playing a younger Nurse Chapel, because she's in sick bay. Sorry, I lost the word. She's in sick bay. So she apparently has moved from the bridge to sick bay. So for me, it's a reading like it's Nurse Chapel. Apparently she's Biodon's nurse. She's Caucasian. She's the heart of sick bay. I'm thinking it sounds a lot more like Nurse Chapel, who supposedly her husband, her partner, disappeared, and she went into space to search for him and had that little sea change around 2361, much like Uhura when she graduated. So unless she was in Starfleet and then left to be a biologist or whatever with that guy and then came back afterwards and went on Kirk's ship, that doesn't make any sense either, although, it's not the same universe, so I kind of need to stop applying those rules. But the Discovery writers are still claiming that this is the original universe, so I don't know if they believe that. If they do, they might actually be following the original canon and sticking to those dates, so maybe it's not Nurse Chapel. So it's either Ensign Colt, because she's the character who was on the show at the time and the actress looks a lot like her, and she was like the blonde Caucasian with blue eyes, or it's Nurse Chapel, and she'd feel like a slightly older officer, so it's not impossible it could be her. But the character in the readings and in the audition was called Miller. Now the other character, Ortega. No, so I just rang out Ortega. Who am I left with? Who have I forgotten? Was that all five? Celia Rose, Christina Chong, Melissa Navia, Ortega, Babs. Okay. Yep, that's it. Okay. A bit confused. I can't read my own notes half the time. I'm very tired. I'm very stressed. And this is not going so well. But yeah, so I am. But I was curious about who they're playing. Who's playing who? And like I said, there were really only three other characters on the Enterprise in Pike's era in the cage. There was Dr. Boyce, Ensign Colt, and Tyler. Now, Colt and Tyler were both very young, blonde, blue-eyed, enthusiastic young officers. Now, they are gone because, we need minority representation, so they're gone. Dr. Boyce, I thought he would be around. I thought Dr. Boyce would actually last, or that he would be in the show, because he was very close to the captain. He seemed like he'd been on the ship for a long time. The younger crew members, you can understand, they could go to different areas of the ship. They could go to different assignments. They're starting off their careers. They're not settled. They're probably moving around a lot. It made sense. It'd be okay. They wouldn't be there a couple of years later. But Boyce, I really thought Boyce would still be there, unless he retired. I guess he had been on the ship for a while. Maybe he was there with April. Maybe he was there from the start. Maybe he retired. So I don't know. But apparently the Doctor is a canon character, so he must be playing Dr. Mbenga because he's a canon character. But then again, like some people are suggesting that to throw people off, like John Harriman and that, which was, of course, Khan in, I better not say in case you haven't seen the film. And I can't believe JJ made me lie about that. I sort of met him at the premiere, like with other people, and he asked us not to tell. And we kept his secret. I didn't tell anyone until well after the film was out. I didn't talk about who the character really was. So maybe they're doing this because they often name productions different names, so people don't realise what the show is, so they have to deal. So it just lessens the chance of fans chasing them and causing hassles and stuff. So maybe these are all made up names. Maybe they are playing characters we're familiar with, even though the time doesn't match up and the ages don't match up. Maybe they are new characters and they just got different names. I don't know. It's hard to tell. But then again, this is kind of rumour because these sites, apparently these casting calls did go out, but whether they're for the Star Trek Strange New Worlds series is not confirmed. So I didn't want to say anything until it was confirmed by Paramount or something. But once I started to hear about audition tapes from these actors reading out these characters, and obviously they sound very much like members of the Starfleet crew, I do think it's kind of possible. So I did want to talk about it because it got me interested, and I thought, well, I didn't know much about this. You know, maybe someone might get something out of this video. But I'm going to go because I'm tired and I need to do a few things before I go to bed. It's, 2 a.m. here in Australia, and I didn't get any sleep last night. So feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. I'll try and be perkier in the next video. Maybe even subscribe, maybe even ding the little bell so you actually see it when you subscribe. I'm going to go. Thanks. Bye.